Yo guys, it's your boy AmishYou, Property Talks. So the next topic is going to be on things to consider when deciding which location or where to invest. So what I would say is the first thing you need to answer is how hands-on or hands-off do you want to be, because that's going to have a big factor, as well as what's your objective. If you have time, then it's easier to manage. You're giving yourself an option to manage something close by, whereas if you want to be hands-off, then you can do something all over the country because you're probably going to have an agent anyway. What's your budget? Depending on your budget, this could also impact where you buy it. London is a lot more expensive than Midlands or up north. Depending on how much you have, you can actually work backwards to find out how much you can spend, and that might decide your location. So hopefully that's an interesting point. Your objective, do you want high yield? Do you want equity growth? Because that up north, you're probably going to get high yield in London, but you're giving yourself a greater chance of equity growth. Although saying that, everyone working from home, I do think that the Midlands is going to become more attractive, and therefore there's going to be more demand, just my opinion. If one of your objectives is making greater yield and you still want to invest in London, although Midlands you will probably generate a high yield, then I think you've got to also consider the type of tenants that are going to be in that to help you be able to rent a property out. What I mean by that is higher yield properties are probably going to be not as good condition as something that's lower yield and more attractive, but that also has an impact in the type of tenant you may get. So if you're looking at, let's say, a council accommodation or someone on housing benefit, universal credit, etc., that might not be the most attractive property, but that may generate a higher yield than something that's a luxurious pad and where you're going to get a banker in the city or whatever it could be. I hope that makes sense. Production, does that make sense?
It does. What would you think about considerations around managing it?
So it depends how hands-on, hands-off you want to be and how much time and effort you have, whether you want to have an agent or not. But managing a property does take time and effort, especially at the start. And therefore, if you don't want to be hands-on, then you could get an agent. But then remember, you're going to have to pay about 10% fees to fund that. And that could also impact your, like, if you are going to manage it, then you want that property to be as close to you as possible, because you don't want to have mission commutes and you might not have a network of builders or handymen, handywomen near the area. So yeah, do you have an adequate network in that area?
What other things would you recommend to consider?
So I'd say distance from a station is always key. Schools, supermarkets. Another thing that I've started accounting for is there a lot of government spending in that area that you could see there being greater chance of equity growth, because the government are putting more money into it and therefore making it more desirable, hence driving prices up. Simple economics. I would avoid places above shops, food shops especially, because certain tenants or certain lenders do not like that, and therefore it might cause some level of complication. What's the demographics of an area? Go walk around that town centre or whatever it is, or near the house or flat, and see what kind of people are there. So what's the target market like? And that will give you an idea of the kind of tenants that you may attract in that area. Cool, I hope that's been useful. Like, comment, subscribe, share, post, repost, blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much. Peace.
Solid.